Real-time astrology, new moon in Sagittarius November 29, 2016. The brash and highly charged new moon at 7 degrees Sagittarius takes place on Tuesday, November 29, 6:18 am CST. This is one most people will feel coming. The new moon will be conjunct fixed star Antares and in exact conjunction to soulmate asteroid Juno, square Neptune at 9 degrees Pisces and the north-south nodes at 8 degrees Virgo and Pisces. If you're one of those folks who've felt recently that their adrenals and serotonin receptors simultaneously blew a fuse, you may as well prepare for this Sagittarius new moon to work your last damn nerve. I'm not saying there's no good news, but I am saying this one isn't going to have the usual bouncy, buoyant feel typically associated with Sagittarius. For one thing, at 7 degrees Sagittarius this cuts close to the degrees that were the biggest sources of stress this past year. For starters, that nasty Mars retrograde we experienced most of the summer kicked off at 8 degrees Sagittarius, conjunct the fixed star Antares. When Saturn went direct in late August conjunct Mars, they were both conjunct Antares. And, so is this Sagittarius new moon. From a previous post. Antares, or Anti-Aries, has a strange reputation in astrology. It is said to be a mixture of Mars and Jupiter energy. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so this new moon in Sagittarius conjunct Antares will exacerbate the fixed star's reckless and even dangerous qualities. Antares was traditionally something of a malefic, associated with daredevils, rash leaders, battle, and even fatalities. It does also lend a distinct mental and philosophical toughness and bluntness. The Sagittarius new moon conjunct Antares brings a militaristic bravery and simultaneous recklessness feeling with it. Stay safe. Then, there's the square to Neptune and the North Node. Neptune will be at 9 degrees Pisces, conjunct the South Node and still the same degree it stationed direct at, on November 19. Thus, still bogging down the psychosphere with emotional overload, confusion, gaslighting, weariness and an overall sense of being rudderless. A square is never an easy aspect, but this particular square between the aggressiveness of the new moon conjunct Antares and the malaise of Neptune conjunct South Node in Pisces is a particularly challenging thing to handle. Lashing out at the wrong things or people are a distinct possibility. Fight the good fight, but make sure you're right first. Oh yeah, Neptune and the North and South Node are on or near the same degree as the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, we had back in September. So, there's whiffs of most of the major story arcs experienced in 2016 coming up again here. From a previous post on the focus of the mutable signs in 2016. The mutable signs keeping things vague, flaky, and ever-shifting as a way of examining various possibilities and examining potential outcomes, self-evaluation and questioning of the external world. Is what we want correct morally, spiritually? How big are the risks for pursuing particular paths? What are the risks for not pursuing them? How are we affected individually versus the effects on our family, community, country? Is what we're doing hurtful or harmful to us in the long run financially, physically, emotionally? Are we moving in the right direction but with bad timing, bad advice, or bad people? Are we going it alone when we ought to be enlisting others, and vice versa? If that's not enough, it gets weirder when we consider the exact conjunction this new moon makes to soulmate asteroid Juno at 7 degrees Sagittarius. How can one experience a soulmate connection during such strange space weather? Well, strange times often make for strange bedfellows. As much as there seems to be a push for divisiveness in the world right now, the conjunction of militaristic Antares, and soulmate maker, Juno, at this new moon looks like we need to remember we're all in this together, and recommitting ourselves to fighting the good, righteous fights together rather than fighting each other. Could be strange bedfellows on the global scene, or the enemy of my enemy is now my friend scenarios. Stay vigilant. On the personal level, there's no reason to think some people can't actually meet others who become pivotal players in our individual storylines here, so keep an open mind if you encounter someone you seem to have a faded feeling of connectedness to. Contrary to popular belief, I don't consider soulmates to be marriage partners or even necessarily romantic partners as much as I consider it to be people who enter our lives to provoke growth at the soul level that we can't or won't accomplish alone. Also from a previous post. Humor is a very Sagittarian trait, and laughing at foolishness can be more effective in some circumstances than tears or tantrums. Remember that while you may be in the mood for some brutally blunt laughs, others may not be, and laughing inappropriately, very tempting here, is another way of being knocked down a peg or two. But, man, do people need to try to laugh more right about now? Everyone's going to be on their soapbox at this new moon. If you can try to remove yourself from it and see the bigger picture, which is really what Sagittarius excels at. Those of you with mutable planets or angles in your chart, or those who really took the biggest hits from Mars retrograde in Sagittarius and the September eclipses, will feel this Sagittarius new moon the strongest. For everyone, as always, check the house of your natal chart that this Sagittarius new moon falls in for further assistance in understanding where this will play out. If you don't know how to find it in your own chart, there is a link enclosed in the video description box which has easy instructions.